It's quite difficult to find the story of Ravinder Naga, who took the blame for the shortfall of £35,000 when auditors raided his mother's Belfield Street post office in Greenock. And he pleaded guilty to the theft, although he knew he hadn't stolen anything, because he thought that would buy the family time, and he didn't think his mother could survive in prison. And now that the Scottish government is putting forward its own legislation to exonerate the people found guilty in the Horizon software scandal, in the post office scandal, there's uncertainty about whether it will cover people like Ravinder Naga, because he wasn't a sub-postmaster, sub-postmistress. It was his mother who was doing the job, and he simply took the fall for her. I think it should, and I think the absurdity of even questioning this by the Scottish Parliament, under the Scottish Parliament legislation, under the British Parliament legislation, it's very clear what is the right thing to do. And when the law isn't capable of doing the right thing, then the law's an ass. And when Parliament members, whether they're in Scotland or in Westminster, are not capable of defining the law in such a way that it fully does the right thing, then they are also asses. And we've had the evidence of error in the system, connived at by people like Paula Venables and others, plenty of others. Paula Venables is just the cream on the cake, the icing. And this cake is a solid lump of excrement. And the fact that, I think yesterday or this morning, there was an announcement that the Royal Mail has been bought, or has been a sale has been agreed with Royal Mail, and the Daily Mail is up in arms about this and saying, "Oh, how dreadful, how dreadful!" Look, the reality is, the post office has been destroyed from inside. Royal Mail is going in much the same direction because the government, it doesn't matter whether it's local or whether it's devolved or whether it's central, the government has failed to look after one of the major utilities of our country and has allowed it to be squandered in sordid filth through and through. You can't post a letter today and be sure it's going to get there tomorrow. You can't receive a letter with absolute certainty that you're not suddenly going to get a fine for a postage stamp which was bought erroneously and which is actually fake. I think now you can, because the post office has given up trying to find people. But it's not in the spirit of the post. And I can remember working as a post person. I know how hard people work in that industry. And I look to the bureaucrats who control it and who have run it into the ground, and the way that people have not taken responsibility, the way that people at the top of our system, in government and the bureaucrats who are controlling the post office, Royal Mail, whatever it doesn't matter about the nomenclature. We know it's the same thing. It's got some different names. It's been run into the ground. And we need to make sure that justice is done. And if the boffins in the Scottish Parliament are not capable of defining something that is just, then they are pillocks. Sorry.